Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with Life is a Party, and of course, you seem to have a heart for teens. What separates this book from other books that address teen issues?
One of the things that that I feel separates it is that it offers them the tools. I think that a lot of books preach to young people and tell them you should do this, do that, don't do this, but you have to give them some kind of a guidance. In other words, I tell the teens that your brain is like a computer. You have to learn how to work it. And so what I do is I offer them a list. If you look at chapter 3 or 4, your thoughts are like dollar bills. And that means when you're thinking about something long enough, that's your investment. You're buying that experience. So I offer a list of affirmations that I instruct them to say.
Okay.
I also offer visualization exercises. Each chapter ends in exercises that the kids do. I think the other thing that distinguishes it, Trevon, is that it's real simple, and I like to keep it fun.
Right.
When you're talking to young people, why be so serious?
Right.
If you look at the chapter titles, Dance to Your Own Beat, The Music in Your Mind, if you're so
Which
cool,
we know music is definitely a great influence on anybody,
Yes.
but you know, we definitely highlight the youth. We see the effect of music,
Right.
you know, and expressing themselves
Right.
through music.
And so that's the way you have to reach them, where they are. So we have a chapter, the harder you bounce the ball, the higher it rises. And basically what I'm saying is that the ball that you just drop and you don't use any force or impact just kind of dribbles, it doesn't go anywhere. But the ball that hits the ground with a lot of force rises. And so
Yes.
when you're dealing with challenges in your life, that force, that impact may be the very force and impact that will cause you to sail. But I use those kinds of analogies, video game imagery, sports, and all the things that they can really relate to. And it gets actually kind of silly sometimes too.
Yeah, and then you have some other titles too. Stop hating and start playing.
They seem to enjoy that one the most.
Yeah, that's one that you hear often, and you have a lot in their own vernacular too.
Right.
And don't be a party crasher. And when love calls.
Yeah, because interesting timing for that one, because I've discovered from going out into the schools and talking to the social workers and counselors that our young people get into abusive relationships, and dating violence is very prevalent. And so it's interesting that this book is out right now at a time when everyone is talking about the Rihanna and Chris Brown controversy.
Right.
In fact, I'm going to Portland this weekend to speak at a conference that's addressing the Chris Brown-Rihanna issue.
Wow.
You know, the dating violence.
Right. And what's interesting is that the last interview I did, I brought the same thing up. And I share how when I go into schools myself, and I'm noticing that as they share, the violence is escalating in relationships between, you know, teenagers and you know, young people, and it's not the same. You know, you can just be on the playground, and if he likes you, you know, and he'll, you know, come tap you or hit you or pull your hair or something or pass you a note. I mean, it's getting really ridiculous, and they don't necessarily know, or as you even mentioned, have the tools to be able to deal with all the emotions and things that they're feeling. And so of course we know things like that are learned behaviors, so that means that they could also be unlearned, and other things can be learned, as some of the things you're mentioning in this book. And you have some of the affirmation exercises in here, and why do you think that affirmation is so important? Why did you want to include this in here?
Because people sometimes say things they think they're going to change, like maybe you have a young person with a bad temper, or who has a tendency to tell lies, or a girl or even a guy who just doesn't believe in himself, and you just tell them, you have to believe in yourself more, stop doing this, and they say okay. But if you're not giving them something to work with, now this is the way affirmations work. You repeat this statement, this positive statement, which for anyone who doesn't know, an affirmation is a positive statement you say to yourself about yourself. When you repeat it long enough, Trevon, what people don't realize is that you literally create a new neural pathway in your own brain. That is our God-given powerful. That's how powerful we are. So once you create that new pathway, basically what you're doing is the old information, which I consider the old program, it atrophies. It literally does. And then you have this powerful new mindset, as it says in the Bible, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's the purpose of the affirmations. We can talk at them all we want, but unless we give them some kind of a tool to use, we're not going to see that change. And I know affirmations work. Now, if they work for us and we're adults, imagine how powerful they'll be with someone 13, 14, 16 years old.
Right, and someone who hasn't lived as long as we have, and so
Right.
they get the opportunity to start putting more positive things into them.
Yes,
and
at a young age.
Yeah, and some of your affirmations, one says, each and every day, my life gets better and better in every way. That's your first one, and you have someone, I guess, someone who may be dealing with the issues about being attractive. You have one, I'm attractive, I am unique, I am important.
Yes.
That is wonderful. Now, do you find that boys, when you're talking to them and going to in the schools, that teenage boys have challenges with self-esteem the same way that young teenage girls do?
No, I haven't been talking to the boys as much. I'm getting ready to step that up a little bit.
Okay.
Generally, people have me come out and speak directly to the girls. One of the things I am discovering, though, is that the boys, when I do talk to them, they're actually as receptive to the message as girls are. So that remains to be seen whether or not they're as focused on appearance.
It doesn't help to, and it does not hurt if you are an attractive woman talking to a room full of boys too.
Okay, no matter your age, I guess.
It doesn't matter what the age is. So I've come to find out they know the difference. And so if you can be an attractive woman and talking to them, and just a woman that's also positive, you get their attention as well.
Oh, is that it? Okay, I know I have their attention.
Oh, you
so
get that. Yeah, Denise, you get their attention.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and so there's the last one in here that I didn't mention in your chapter. It's called That's What's Up. And so if you got some young people around you, if you have teenagers, you know you've heard that term, and they probably use it ad nauseum. That's what's up. That's what's up. Everything is, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. No, they don't say that. That's what's up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah.
So, okay, what's that chapter about?
That's just lessons. What I did is I just, kind of summarized the book and then added some more lessons, and it's just a list of lessons because, again, it's called Life is a Party That Comes with Exams. So the final 2 chapters, the last chapter, What's Up, that's lessons, a list of lessons. Lessons like fake it until you make it, or if they make you angry, they win, or another lesson, don't use or take anything that clouds your mind or affects your ability to make decisions. And then the final chapter, of course, is just an exam, and that's just questions for teachers to use or anyone to use, just to see how well they absorbed and